How can I tell as a mom or as a parent that my child has autism? As a psychologist, my job is to diagnose autism. I see hundreds of kids every single month who are presenting with the same symptoms. These are the main things I would say to look out for as a parent if you're worried that your child might be on the spectrum. First of all, it's a developmental disorder. Oftentimes, I see kids coming into my office who are delayed, whether it's a speech and language delay, a speech and language regression, or a delay in walking, toilet training, any type of developmental delay that could be one red flag. Another is that we have two main categories of symptoms that have to be present for autism to be diagnosed. One of them is deficits in social communication, so their ability to socialize, their empathy for others, their understanding of emotions, their language skills, their conversation skills. And the other is that they have to present with restricted and repetitive behaviors, which oftentimes also includes really strict sensory sensitivities. Starting with the first bucket, if we have social concerns, what I noticed is that kids have a hard time with eye contact, they have a hard time understanding emotions, they have a really hard time with reciprocal conversation, with understanding things like social cues or also sarcasm and jokes. They might take things very literally. They don't respond well to their name, and these are just a couple symptoms, but honestly, it could be so many more things. On the flip side, in the other bucket, we have the restricted and repetitive behaviors. So maybe you notice that your child has really special, rigid interests in something that they like, and they're almost not willing to talk about anything else. They just talk all about this special interest that they have. Maybe you notice repetitive behaviors like spinning, hand flapping, head banging, hand posturing, so holding their hands in certain ways. Maybe you notice that they are very sensitive to certain foods that they eat. This is a big one. I see kids who are not only sensitive to the type of food that they want, maybe they only eat chicken nuggets and one type of fruit, but it has to be brand specific too, so maybe they only want the chicken nuggets at a certain fast food restaurant. You might see unusual and repetitive patterns of play, which might include lining up toys, organizing them, stacking them. You might also notice that they gravitate towards a toy, but instead of playing with it functionally as it should be played with or using their imagination, they might actually be inspecting the toy, so holding it really up close to their face, looking at all the parts with their eyes, or maybe playing with a part of a toy instead of the whole toy. These are just some really broad symptoms. Obviously, I'm happy to dive more into detail, but it's really nuanced and there's a lot of specific things that goes into the diagnosis. In part 2, I'll dive a little bit deeper into what I actually do to diagnose autism and take a closer look to see if it really is there. As usual, let me know if you have any specific questions and follow for more content.